think about going to half concentration. So this is the center core. This is the disposable. There's an O-ring here to create the seal, and this will fit so the fluid is coming out of the tip. So these are the standard gold tips, which come in different sizes. What do we have? A 3.8, 4.2, 4.5. Then you have silver tips, and the silver tip, remember I said I had that fine German knife-type edge on it. Can you see that? So these you would use in a fibrous area to get through easier, but they're very sharp there, and all of these have ports in them so they don't get clogged. And then what they call the drying cannula is the green one, and that's much smoother to do the final cleanup if you do that stage. And there are short ones as well. There's long and short. Can you, well, when we turn it on, it's going to be set to half an atmosphere, which is an important part of the harvest. And we're not going into those containers. We're going into here till we have enough, and then we'll switch over.
First of all, you have to have the cannula in the patient before you start the system the first time to vacuum. That's why we have it primed, so it just doesn't suck everything out immediately. So it goes from the patient into the canister. There's a filter basket there to catch any really hot fibrous tissue, and then it rests on top of a mesh screen. And then from underneath the mesh screen, we have the fluid being sucked out into the canister.
Which mesh do we have in?
250.
250 micron mesh. And how big did we say a adipocyte was? A single cell's 100 microns, but they don't come out as single cells. If they do, they're going to end up going through, but they're in groups of cells, which is about the right to catch them. Jenny put a steri-strip over the port because the suction is so strong, not on the half atmosphere, but when we get to the full atmosphere on this machine, the suction is so strong, you'll rip out, it rips the hole right through your glove. So we put a steri there to protect that. Suction's on, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to start harvesting from the flank. And put it on number 3 now. I'm giving her fluid as we go. It's much slower. The fluid is clearing the path, and I'm suctioning simultaneously. And soon we'll see some cells starting to come out. How are we doing down there? Is it getting a little better? All right, I'm keeping the fluid going. If I wanted that to drain out, I'll take my foot off the pedal and it'll just collect down. Suction off of it.
So once we think we've collected enough fat for the harvest, now we just have to bypass this whole system. So you disconnect. You can set up the vacuum. We disconnect the tube that's coming from the patient and attach it to the canister that is collecting. What do we have in there right now? There's 1,500 cc's of fluid. There's absolutely no fat in there from the patient.
Now, you don't want to spill this. Sometimes in the hospital, in the OR, someone goes to look and see what, and they'll grab the container, and you don't want to tilt it. It's got a nice seal on it. And this thing's very, very heavy.
There are 2 ways you can do this. This is, I'm just doing this for this purpose to show you, but there's a basket on here that caught the fiber.
is take this off.
You got that section.
So I'm going to put the cannula back in, and she's going to turn up to 1 atmosphere, and then it really will move along faster.
So now we have the fat that's been filtered out, and I'm just going to draw it up into a larger syringe and then just put it in smaller syringes just so you can see.
Is that at a bar cannula, Roger Lamar?
What is I just need a little bit. Okay, so just remember the slide I showed you? I'm doing the same thing. So we're just showing you the quality of, imagine if this was in the nasolabial and you were injecting in, what the quality of that would be. So see, if you were putting it into your nasolabial and then massaging it flat, that's the quality of it. Not clumpy at all, very nice microfat graft. How we doing here? Back here is okay. All right, I'm going to finish off the back part here. Ready? Look at that. Okay, I'm changing to a silver. So again, the reason I'm changing to the silver is this is a little tough up here.
12,000, so we're getting close to there. So we just have to change the tubing over to the other canister and
So just do that.
and change the direction of the vacuum flow onto the other canister. Okay.
All right.
Done.
Okay. We're on with silver. A little bit more here. As if you were doing an injectable filler, I'm looking at this area right at the superior part of the nasolabial fold. That's probably the deepest in here. And then we track out down this way a bit. These are our entry points. And I try to make one to do everything. From here I can reach nasolabial. Yesterday I did that and lips, so I was able to go across. And over here, she has a little scar right here with a depression around it. So we're going to put some in that area. And then there's a little crease, lip crease there. And not as much, it's not as deep in this side. Do you have any more lidocaine? Okay. So again, we're under local, so we need to do our blocks because I certainly don't want to fill that with fluid and distort anything. And you see a little remnant of fluid down here, not much. So I'm just going to finish up over here while that perioral area is getting anesthetized and prepped. And then we'll put in our harvest.